Hi folks, it's Switchback. A lot of my adventures take me to or through the middle of nowhere where there just aren't services available. Being self-sufficient is a critical part of traveling in places like that. My car is a big part of that. If something does happen and you're out in a tiny town somewhere, getting work done is really challenging at best. They often have to order parts. You're going to be there longer than planned. I wanted to go through in this video what I do with my vehicle, what I store in my car when I'm traveling, and preparations of what I do to my vehicle in order to reduce the risk that I will be somewhere on the side of the road. I'll put links to everything I'm going to talk about down in the description. Some of these are affiliate links, which means that I do receive a small commission, and that helps support my channel so that I can help more people get outside safely and responsibly. Most of what I'm going to show you is stuff we leave in the car all the time. We do not leave the full toolkit in here all the time. And if I open it, I guarantee I will make a big mess of it. But it has wrenches and that kind of things in here for minor vehicle repairs and maintenance. With that, I even have with me an extender, which we figured out we needed to replace the battery in our vehicle when we were outside of the Grand Canyon. I keep first aid supplies in addition to my backpacking first aid kit. I don't like to keep medications in here just because vehicles get hot and cold, which is terrible for medications. These are 2 SAM splints right here, and these are basically like the balloon animals of first aid. You can shape them into any kind of splint that you need pretty much. Then I have a hemostatic pressure bandage or an Israeli bandage, and that can help with any major bleeding that does not necessarily require a tourniquet. I carry 2 tourniquets, and these are proper cat tourniquets, and I will go into that in another video for you. And we have a pocket mask, which we basically have in here just because Mountain Goat got this after she did her CPR training for free. Some other items that we carry in here, we have some road flares. We do have bungee cables, not necessarily for safety, but more just for camping. Same with the window covers. We have a wag bag, all about having a wag bag in case there's no potty and you can't wait. We carry this remote jump starter. Jumper cables are great if you're somewhere where you're going to see other people, but that's not always the case when you're out in the middle of nowhere. I have used this, I've actually used this in Yosemite to help someone who couldn't get their car started. And it's nice because then you're not trying to line up vehicles in a way that works. This is pretty simple to assemble. Just pop this into here, like that. Hook these up. In short, you're going to put these on the positive and negative poles of the battery. Go in, press, turn on your vehicle and call it good. I found that this drained this from, it was like, I don't know, like a Jetta or something like that, but it drained this from 100% down to 86%. If you do decide to get something like this, make sure that you get the right size for your vehicle, and they're not all created equal. Additionally, this one will actually charge your phone or whatever else you need right here. So it has 2 USB-A outlets, and then it just gets charged with a USB-C. And there is one provided here. This one even has a flashlight, which is kind of cool. It's not super crazy bright, but it's definitely helpful when you're trying to figure this out under duress. A tire inflator or air compressor can also be a great idea. It's better for something like a slow leak versus a blowout, obviously, and it will really just get you through until you can get to the nearest tire shop. Probably a good idea if you don't have a spare tire on your vehicle. If you're getting any value out of this, be sure to like and subscribe down below. And while you're down there, if you want to explore my channel membership, then you can click on the join button. Or if you'd like to check out Patreon, I have that right up here. I have a couple of different flashlights in here. You can see the difference in them. I also like to carry sunscreen for the backs of my hands and for my arms when I am driving. I also really like to have a gallon of water waiting in the car when I get back from my hike in case I am out of water, which has happened before. Take any charging cables you'll need for your gear. I love to take advantage of charging stuff on the way home, and then I don't have to use my home electricity. I will often take those same cables with me on the trail to keep my stuff charged with my power banks. If you're in bear country, you may need to avoid leaving anything with a smell in the car, so check what the recommendations are where you're headed. Hand sanitizer, which I strongly recommend using anytime that you have been pumping gas or doing anything else that might potentially put you at risk for getting stuff on your hands. Now let's talk about what you need to do to your actual vehicle. If there are any known issues, any lights in your car, anything like that, you need to address those issues before you are out in the middle of nowhere. Does your vehicle have a spare tire? And if it does, because sometimes they don't anymore, but if it does, make sure that it is still inflated and that you can access it and the tools to use it. For example, Mountain Goat and I were recently in the Eastern Sierra and ended up with a blowout tire and had to look in the manual, which thankfully we had the manual, and I recommend that you carry that too, in order for us to find the tire jack and all of that good stuff. On our way back to camp from the bristlecone pines, we heard a weird sound, and sure enough, we has a flat. So, pulling stuff out. Mountain Goat's doing her mountain goaty thing. Check all of your tires to ensure that they all have enough tread to keep you safe on the road, and you can use a quarter to check that. Make sure that all of your tires have enough tire pressure, and you can use a tire gauge to check this. You can look on the inside of your door frame to see what the recommended tire pressure is. Ensure that you have enough gas to get you back out from wherever you're headed and that you know where the next gas is when you're on your way back out. Make sure that your preventative maintenance is up to date and that your oil is still good. Oil isn't likely to be what's going to keep you on the side of the road if you have something built, I don't know, after 1978 or something, but it's still a good idea to keep it going. Make sure that your battery is in good working order and there's no corrosion on it. Top off your washer fluid for your windshield, and there are multiple kinds of washer fluid for this. If you are going up to the mountains or anywhere where it's going to be potentially below freezing, make sure that you have a washer fluid that is designed for that. Otherwise, your line can freeze and then you don't get any spray up when you try to turn it on. And I have seen this happen in the Sierra when the roads are melting and there's spray coming up on your windshield and you are screwed. It can be super scary when your windshield is impossible to see through and you can't fix it. To that end, make sure that your wiper blades are in good working order. It's recommended to change them every year. See what works for you. Make sure that all of the lights on your vehicle are working, including your license plate frame, your blinkers, your emergency flashers, your brake lights, your tail lights, your headlights, your brights, all of that. Will you be required to carry chains? Anytime you're in the Sierra, for example, you are required to carry chains in the wintertime, even if you have four-wheel drive with snow tires like I do, which means that you will basically never need these, but you're still required by law to carry them. And it doesn't have to be actual chains like these. You can use other traction devices. I would highly recommend practicing using them at home so that you are not trying to figure it out with frozen fingers in a windy, snowy circumstance on the side of the road. These things do take some skill. And this is why sometimes there are even people that you can pay to put them on, because it's not fun. It hurts your hands. It's not fun. Speak from experience, having driven a Honda Civic when I lived in the Sierra. Again, I highly recommend that you carry your vehicle manual as well, because it is really nice to be able to look that stuff up when you are stressed out on the side of the road. While you're on your trip, avoid leaving anything visible or anything of value in your vehicle. Some people even leave their vehicle unlocked at trailheads to avoid broken windows. After your trip, ideally before you even leave an area, wash your vehicle to avoid spreading invasive species from one area to the next. One more very important item to carry if you are going to or through a lot of remote areas is a satellite communicator. And in this playlist, I go in depth all about them and help you figure out what is right for you and your situation. Be sure to like and subscribe if you got any value or simply were entertained, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe out there. Bye.